Our new topic will be about respiratory system. نفس الشيء رح نمشي ب anatomy, physiology, lab test, diagnostic procedure, and selected respiratory diseases. As we know that there is upper respiratory tract and lower respiratory tract. The upper consists of nasal cavity, pharynx, and larynx, and trachea, the upper part of the trachea. Then the lower respiratory tract extends from trachea, left and right main bronchus, left lung and right lung. Then from the bronchus to the bronchioles, من القصبات الهوائية إلى القصيبات الهوائية, then to the alveoli. All of these consists the lower respiratory tract system. The main function of respiratory system is the delivery of oxygen to lung and removal of CO2 from the lung through the process of ventilation and then oxygenation. The respiratory system, as we said, composed of upper and lower respiratory tracts. The upper respiratory tract consists first of nose, which is a passageway for air to pass and to and from the lungs. Internal and external parts. The details regarding the anatomy and physiology already discussed in the anatomy course. The main function is to filter, humidify, and warm air, and also through the olfactory nerve, the nose responsible for olfaction. Also, there is a nasal mucosa that is responsible for moistening, warming, and highly vascularized area. There are goblet cells, which also responsible to secrete mucus continuously as a defense against microorganisms. Also, the mucus moved back to the nasopharynx by cilia, which are the fine hair. The paranasal sinuses, الجيوب الأنفية, air-filled cavity lined with nasal mucosa and connected by a series of duct قنوات that drains into nasal cavity. هذه الإفرازات تدخل إلى التجويف الأنفي. Serve as resonating chamber of speech. تهتز هذه الحجرات وتؤثر على التون of voice. عشان هيك بحالة التهاب الجيوب الأنفية بيختلف نغمة صوتك، بصير في سماكة أو بصير في يختلف نغمة الصوت من الناعم إلى الخشن أحيانا. These sinuses are common site for infection. There are different sinuses here: frontal, maxillary, which are accessible for physical exam, while ethmoidal and sphenoidal not accessible for physical examination. Also, within the nasal cavity, we have turbinate spoons to moist and warm air, brought air in contact with sensitive nerves, and contain large surface of a mucus or moist mucus, المخاط الرطب. This picture clarifies the nasal cavity and the paranasal sinuses. Above here we have the frontal sinuses. Then we have the turbinate, superior turbinate, middle turbinate, inferior turbinate. The vestibule, the air entry, in which the air enters through the anterior nares. Also, we have the pharyngeal tonsil. We have the ethmoidal sinus, the ethmoidal bone, which is not accessible for physical exam. and phenodal sinuses which are not accessible for physical exam. The pharynx tube-like structure connects nose to larynx and divided into three regions. Also, we have tonsils and adenoids, lymphoid tissue, and play a significant role in immunity, guarding the body from invasion from microorganisms. And also we have the epiglottis, which is the opening of the larynx.